So what happens when we get further and further away from a historical event? That's what I'm interested in. Something happens and people are directly involved with it, and then they die or they're gone or they survive, but it's their experience. But what happens to those of us that are affected by other people's experience? And that's my interest, and my particular passion, the thing that pulls me to look at is Auschwitz, and that historical trauma of what happened there. Though I do think that what I'm interested in is applicable to other people's historical traumas and the traumas that people are going through right now as I speak, and I'm sure will continue to happen to human beings. How in the future will people relate to them and engage with them? So when something happens to people, then the event occurs, and then there's iterations of the event. Things that begin to happen in the imagination, or what some have called in between history and imagination. The event doesn't end in time when it's over. It keeps going through its images and through people's stories and through artistic renditions, and I believe it continues in its own reality. It keeps evolving, and we tap into it in different ways. So the first people to tap into an event are the ones that become direct witnesses. People, for example, Auschwitz, the soldiers that liberated the camps, and the photojournalists and the paper journalists, the people that were writing, they came and they witnessed and observed directly. They saw the living skeletons, they saw the heaps of corpses, and they had a response to it, and they tried to get across to the world what it felt like to be there. And the best ones were the pictures. They couldn't do it in words. So I call that the first iteration of researchers of that event. And what happened is that photos went around the world, people were horrified, and then Auschwitz, the Holocaust, disappeared from consciousness for 2 decades. And then in the 70s, people got interested again, and it began to emerge as a force, as an event, and plays started to be written. Survivors' accounts began, very beginning, started to be listened to, and people began to do a new kind of art around it. And the second iteration, people that were not involved in the actual circumstances, what they tried to do is figure out how it was to be there. What would I have done if I was there? You should have, you could have, why did they? Questions like that. They were trying to put themselves back in the time of then and figure out how it happened, why it happened, all the reasons, and individual stories too. What would I have done if, would I have killed myself with a cyanide tablet? Would I have gone on with hope that something might get better? The third iteration, which I consider myself part of, we're not that interested in what happened then. The facts, the numbers, the details, what happened on what day when. What we're interested in is what we're left with. Those of us born way after or shortly after, when we encounter the images, what happens to us and how can we engage with them with what I consider evil, because the images carry evil, and bring love and some kind of caring into the work that we're doing. Somehow try to penetrate the evil that's evolving and that continues to be perpetrated. I mean, I'm very aware that Auschwitz was not the last of its kind. It was the beginning of its kind. But how can I engage with the horrors and the images of evil and try to do it in a way that is creative and loving and break through? I don't think I have yet, but trying to break through the hate. So what I try to do is play with what I encounter, take it out of the historical context, and begin to make something out of it that isn't then, and it isn't me now, but it's something in between. It exists in liminal space. It exists separate from me and separate from Auschwitz itself. But I'm trying to encounter it with who I am today and what it is today in the very moment that I play with it, and see if my living presence and who I am today can play with the images, and somehow in that playing together, the images and me, that maybe we can make something new happen.
Love.